Hello, I'm Sophiralou and welcome to my channel.
Hello guys and welcome to the secondary colour challenge. This was highly suggested to you guys after my primary colour challenge video, and I'm just showing you here the equipment I have used and the colours. So with the colours for the pro markers, it's plum, amethyst, wild orchid. The greens are forest green, lime green, pastel green, and the oranges are amber, mandarin and apricot. And then I'm using my trusty Whsmith pencils. As you can see, I've sharpened them. You can see here my sketch work that I've done, which was the progress that I've worked on to try and get down the final parts of the piece and what I thought about it. And this one was very difficult to work with, but I'll explain a bit more about that in a minute. This sketchbook here is my Ryman's softcover sketchbook. Yes, this is a new one. This will be my concept book, so all my concept art pieces will go in here for future videos and for future big pieces that I want to work on. The paper that I've used on this video to do my artwork on is the Daler Rownbey mixed media pad. If you guys ever want to grab a pair of one of these, you can get them from any local hobbycraft or craft store. So my first thing I usually do is I've picked my concept and I am just getting the main basis down by lightly working with a Whsmith colour soft pencil, and then I build up my layers with pro markers and with the pencils to create different shading effects and to enhance the imagery by making it look a bit more 3D. Now the major problem I had with this piece was I couldn't figure out what bird I wanted to do. And the thing I really struggled with was, at first I was going to do hummingbirds, but hummingbirds are tiny and I wouldn't have been able to do the piece justice by having these tiny birds on them. And then all the birds I was looking at didn't really either fit the concept or they were just too small. So with this one I decided to go with budgies. And this is probably because I was inspired by Morgan. You guys may know her as Jellyby, and she has these adorable budgies, and they are called Bumble and Pixel, and they are just so cute. And I was kind of inspired by the feathers because they're not very simple to do, especially with all the layering up on the back, and I really wanted to do that because it was a bit of a challenge and it meant that I could do really work on the feathers on this. The main problem you'll find with the secondary colour challenge is with the primary one you can blend a lot more, you can create a lot more shading, you can make a lot more colours, whereas with the secondary colours, the more you blend and the heavier you blend, you'll find that your colours can end up quite muddy. So I had to practice a lot with this to try and get the piece to work the way I wanted to. If anyone is wondering, yes, I am a little bit poorly. I'm currently filming this while I am full of the flu, so I do apologise if my voice seems slightly off or if I seem a little bit quiet at points. I'm trying my best to be really loud without cracking my voice. So you can see here, I had to use a lot of photo references. I don't own budgies, so it's really difficult for me to actually do the birds without reference. And I found I really enjoyed the patterns on them. Obviously the colours are not to what the birds actually are. They tend to have a lot more yellow in certain areas, or they'll have blues. And luckily with the very light green that I've got, which is pastel green, it is very blue in colour, but it is still a shade of green. I tried to keep it very fair with the colours that I was picking, especially when I did the primary colour challenge as well. Try and pick it so the colours are recognisable as a colour, but at the same time I got a variation in shade. And this is one of the best things about this challenge. If you guys do manage to tackle this challenge, or if you've done anything similar, I'd love to see what you guys have come up with. I get really excited to see other people's concepts and how they've worked on pieces, so I would love to see your interpretation of the secondary and primary colour challenge. Now, as far as I'm aware, and I haven't seen anyone who's done the secondary colour challenge yet, so if you want to do it or you know someone who's done it, link me down below. I'd love to see your work. I think art's always about sharing and interpreting ideas together and working together We're a community at the end of the day, and I'd love to see what you all come up with for this concept. The reason why I decided to stick with birds is because I want to do more than one limited palette challenge. I've already done the primary colour, this is the secondary colour, I'm looking at doing the tertiary colour, or tertiary, however you pronounce it, and I'm also looking at doing like a monochrome and maybe a sepia tone challenge and a pastel tone challenge as well. And I think it'd be really good to kind of keep in the kind of fit similar theme with all the birds, just so then when I sell them as prints they are a nice set together. Speaking of, this piece is available on the store, the original is, and print pre-orders will be open until towards the end of July, because I've got another convention in July, so I'm ordering the prints in time for that one. So if you wish to purchase that, if you wish to pre-order them, feel free to, that's absolutely fine. If you're watching this video later, say past July, don't worry, the prints are available on the store. You can find a link to that down below. The original is up on there, as well as the primary colour original is still up there, as well as prints for that if you are interested in that. So as I said to you earlier, the main thing about these challenges is to try and make sure you build up your layers without making the colours too muddy. And I realised I hadn't really used this dark green yet, and I wanted to use as many of my colours as possible. So you'll see here, as I'm building up the layers, it can end up quite muddy looking in places. And this is a problem that you'll have with the secondary colours, because they are so vivid, it's really difficult to sometimes make them work. It can be quite off-putting when put together, like purple and orange are really nice colour combination, green and orange are a really nice colour combination, but green and purple are a really nice colour combination. But when you try and mix all three together, you can end up with it looking quite muddy. And I found that by me actually limiting what I did and not building up too much orange on top of the green and purple, it didn't make it as muddy. And this is what the practice pieces were for in my sketchbook. It's really, really good to practice before you go into I like to practice before I go into a video, just because I like to be able to say, look, this is what I've done, this is how I do it, you know, you guys should go and try it out yourselves. And I really, really enjoyed doing this. I like doing limited palettes because I think it really pushes your colour schemes much more, and it really helps your blending as well. You'll see, like, the way I tend to blend is I put my darker shades down and then I build on top with lighter shades to get this sort of like gradient effect. And this is how I use pro markers all the time. If you're going for a more comic book style, you put your dark layer down after you put down your light layer, so then you can create sort of like bold shading. Whereas if you want smoother shading, you best go from your dark layers to your light, if that makes any sense. This is just how I work with markers. And then I'm going in here with a white gel pen. I don't consider this as a cheating tool. This is just to create highlights in certain areas, and this is because I tend to use white gel pen in pretty much anything I do. And this is just so that I can get the white areas to be more white, so say where the markers have bled through, or to try and create a lighter area where I may have gone a bit too dark with my markers. And this is helpful, this can really work. So I hope you guys have enjoyed like my interpretation of the secondary and primary colour challenge. If you guys would like to see more, please let me know. I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts what I should do for challenges. I do a challenge video every single month, and it tends to be my third video of the month. So if you are interested in never seeing my challenges, you know, just maybe subscribe to my little channel. If you want to show your work off, you know, feel free to comment down below. I do read all my comments. I struggle replying to comments a lot of the time because I kind of get like nervous about replying to people, but that's just something I'm working to improve on. So I do apologise if anyone feels like I'm a little bit antisocial at times, because that's just the way I am. Sometimes I really struggle with replying to stuff. So I'm just showing here an overlook of the materials I've used. My Pro Marker Letrasets, I absolutely love these. These are my babies, and I use my Whsmith pencils, and then I'm just giving you a quick overlook of the final piece. I hope you guys have enjoyed my walkthrough with this video. I do hope you try out the secondary colour challenge yourself. I really enjoy doing these sort of like challenges, and I'm just showing you here the contrast with the primary colour challenge. So yeah, thank you guys as always so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Maybe if you want to like this video if you like it, if not, that's no problem. Comment on anything that you'd like to see next. Maybe subscribe, and as always, stay creative.